My name is Jonathan George. I'm currently the resident manager at Amethyst Manor here in Moorhead, Minnesota. And we service college students in the area that have substance abuse problems that are looking for a sober living environment. I think there are several factors that go into the recovery process. A lot of people approach sobriety initially as it being quitting the use of whatever substance they have trouble with. And really that's a very small part of it. That's kind of, I don't want to say the easy part, um, but it's really a whole lifestyle change. And when you're talking about, especially with college students or high school students, they may associate with a peer group that uses with them as well. And you know, breaking away from that, it's much more difficult to say, okay, well, I'm going to hang out with the same people and I'm just not going to drink. Um, Really, the recovery process takes a lot of breaking away from those old habits, those old friends, and really changing many aspects of your life. And that's a very difficult thing to do. I mean, you can imagine if tomorrow somebody was like, okay, you can't hang out with any of the people that you're hanging out with now. These some of these things that you do, staying out late at night or whatever it may be, those things have to change starting today, and you've got to continue on with that. That's a really hard thing to ask somebody to do, especially younger people. Um, but with time, at least my experience has been, with time, as people learn to do this and learn to cope with things in different ways, and start to establish these new relationships, these new friendships, um, it gets much easier over time. I've also learned that not everybody is ready to make that step, um, and it's a very difficult process to go through. Um, so I've had to learn, and this was probably one of the biggest challenges for me, that at some point all I can do is give advice, guidance, to people, and hope that they are willing to take that advice and continue on with their sobriety. But that's ultimately it's up to the individual, and that's been something that's I think is very important for anybody dealing with substance abuse. Is that really it is up to that person, um, and there's a lot of times when I see people that stumble or have difficulties, um, that I truly do believe want to be sober. Um, but wanting that and actually doing the things that they need to do, that's a very difficult step to take. And I've definitely learned kind of the difference that there are a lot of individuals out there that struggle with it, and really genuinely want to be sober, but don't really know how or aren't willing to take all the steps necessary. To the individual struggling, there are several resources out there, and with AA, for example, it's free. You can go there, and there's a support group that can help walk you through. Sometimes, even though something doesn't may not sound like the best idea to you right now, sometimes it is best to listen to somebody who has been there, and to kind of follow that lead. And you'll find that things get better and better as you continue on with that. With the resources that are offered in the community, I think AA is definitely one of the best and best known. Um, Private counseling has been shown to to work well for some individuals as well. Ultimately, though, I think probably the biggest thing is that you need to first accept and know that you have a problem. Insight, I think, is one of the most important things. Um, be honest with yourself. Be completely honest and look at how your life has gone, and how alcohol has affected your life. And from that point, be willing to give up, to absolutely let go of your past behaviors, of your past habits, of your past friendships, um, and start to make changes in all of those aspects of life. And I think again, that is part of what makes it so difficult, is that there's so many changes that you have to make. Um, but by being willing, by taking active steps at making those changes, is vital. But know that there are people that do recover and that do very well and that do change their lives. And I have yet to meet one that isn't in a better place or much happier with the life that they have now versus the life that they had before when they were drinking. And I think that that's huge. The things that you do now, the changes that you make now will affect you in the future.